really am busy, despite appearances. Let me think. What can I perfect? Vadian. The commander sees the attention of another elf, who immediately stopped what he was doing and walked towards us. He sent a look at the commander, then his gaze fell on me. Who's this? A human? Yes, Commander, I noticed, but... She's for the Onyx Chandler, and no, I don't know what he wants with her. They stared at each other in silence for a few long seconds, tension becoming obvious. That was when I realized that the ship had begun to move. It was the strangest sensation, and it threw my balance just enough that I had to crouch down to steady myself. Are you alright? Ah, and there he goes, far too easy. Come with me, Lucida. You have some things to explain. Calpo and Lacey left immediately, leaving me with the new elf. He held his hand out his hand, offering to help me with my balance. Take his hand. Don't take it. Take his hand. I hesitated and then reached out to take his hand. He held my hand tightly, helping me steady myself. All these elves were deceptively strong, it seemed. After I had regained my balance, he let my hand go. First time on the ship? Yes. Wasn't that obvious? Was it common to have spent time on a ship? No one I knew had ever been on a ship, not one like this. There's been a lot of new things happening to me lately. Thank you. You seem nice when I see you. There's been a lot of new things happening to me. I don't know if finding myself aboard a ship like this is any stranger than meeting hordes of moony elves. Moony? A lot of people think we're nocturnal. But you're not. Not any more than anyone else you. I could tell he was curious about why I was here, and he was looking for a way to ask. If you don't mind, how did you end up? Tell him. Ask him why he wants to know. Don't tell him anything. Should I? He seems nice. We'll watch him like betray us or something later on or something. It was all a game. Alright, let's tell him. Lacey tracked me down for the Onyx Chandler. Evidently, I drank something that he thinks is his property, and thus I am now his property myself. No, we are not. Not. You... what? What? That's ridiculous. Galleons don't take possession of people. That's slavery, right? Vadian, you know what I was talking about. What does he think he's doing? He can't just afford himself exceptions. I watched the elf jumped from one outrage to the next, but it only lasted a moment before he regained his composure. Are you hurt? Did he hurt you? Did he force you to come aboard? He can't force you to come aboard. Bulai has no official standing, no status in the command. Yes, he made me. I was ready to leave Edric. I guess we could say that, but I guess it's hard. Anyway. Yes, he made me. He said I had no choice, and it didn't feel like he was lying. I am so sorry. The elf was apologizing. I was suspicious, a little caught off guard. Lasega isn't someone I'd wish on my worst enemy. He thinks that if someone is defenseless, they're simply at the mercy of people who are stronger, so he pushes people who can't stop him. He's right, he's wrong. Alright, I got a few more minutes to record my computer to free up some space. He's right, he's wrong. I can defend myself. Then I should learn to defend myself. Yeah, to defend herself. Then my first order of business is to learn the most effective and diverse ways to kill elves. Wow. I'm slightly uncomfortable. Clever. Good. Clever. So, you're a smart elf. Oh, I haven't even... My name is... Vadin Millicrose. What's your name? Oh, are these siblings? Or Raven. Hadn't I heard Millie Rose before? Well, truth be told, retaining name is currently a low priority. But I think that was the commander's surname as well. Were they related? Well, met Raven. I'll show you to a hammock if you like. It's very crowded, but at least you'll only be among women. Women are hardly more safe than men. Are the women here soldiers? Commander Calipo? Will Calipo be there? No, she enjoys the spoils of command now. For a second, I thought he was going to roll his eyes. But this day might. She's also my cousin. Awesome. Oh yes. Calipo is my cousin. Knew it. He showed me to the ship's hold and gave me simple directions to find a row of hammocks. The ships inward weren't anything like I have imagined. It was so dim and almost impossible to see anything. You can find it now, can't you? I really shouldn't go any further, privacy and all. If you need anything, I have to get back to duty, but truly. Tell me more about yourself. This is foreboding. I don't need anything. Lacey. You knew Lacey was involved with my arrival? I saw the two of you arrive, yes. You noticed me come on board then. You don't need to worry so much. He kept his distance. You must really hate him. Let's see. You noticed coming forward. Now, is that because you pay close attention to everything Lacey does, or is it because well, you don't look like you're a part of the forces, so He looked a little caught off guard. Tell me more about yourself. Well, tell me about yourself then. What, me? Well, I'm a scout in the forces, 1st Division. Is that like what Lacey is? Yes, exactly what Lasega is. Do you know the commander? The commander, oh yes. She and I are cousins. We were born within weeks of each other. We're close. You'll find a lot of my family speckled across the chain of commands. Does that mean you're important? Oh no, not at all. Can you tell me more about Galea? Can you tell me more about Galea, your people? I have no idea where I'm going. He gave a heavy sigh. I can tell you that Galea is a grim place, and that we don't welcome outsiders. I'm afraid things will be very difficult for you. That's not. Can you tell me something a bit specific? Galea is a small island. We live in one primary city with a dense population, completely encircled by a fortress. We are known for our forces, an army that enlists more than 2/3 of our population. We're essentially mercenaries, though be mindful who you repeat that to. Most Galeans don't appreciate the term galleons. Noted. I wish I could think of how to prepare you. Sorry. Alright, this is foreboding. It's so dark in here and so galleon decorating. I believe we see better in the gloom than your people do. It's all just a haze. Perhaps your eyes will adjust. More than my eyes are going to need to adjust. I don't need anything. I understand. Take care. Left alone for the first time since morning, I stared down the narrow pathway before me. Well, what I could see of it. It seemed far less busy down here, but occasionally I'd feel the movements of others around me. I eventually found the chamber Vadian had told me about Vadian. I was starting to see better. Perhaps my eyes had been adjusting after all. It didn't help that Galleons seemed intent on keeping everything shades of black. Though it was early in the morning, all the hammocks I could see were filled. The sleeping elves were, as far as I could tell, all female. I scanned the hammocks for a while, searching for an empty one. It was difficult to tell from where I stood, but I thought I spotted one in the third row. There was also an awake elf who'd been staring at me since I've entered. Check the third row or ask the elf. Let's ask the elf. Pardon me. The elf's brows flew up. She continued to stare, but she didn't say a word. I realized blatantly that this elf looked different from the others. Were it not from the ears, I'd have thought her human. Try again. Try checking the third row. Try again. Pardon me, my lady. The elf's silence continued. Perhaps try once. Perhaps she doesn't understand me. Try checking the third row. Perhaps she doesn't understand me? Oh, you can't understand me, can you? I sighed. I can understand you perfectly fine. Her unfamiliar accent was thick, and her words a little awkward, but nevertheless, she could understand me. Oh, how silly of me to assume you weren't just ignoring me. Are you a prisoner? No. I found myself answering out of reflex, even though I may have been. I just wanted to find a hammock. I didn't want to step on any toes. The elf sighs. Who told you to come down here? Vadian Rose? Vadian Rose? Millie Rose? Then, I suppose. Alright, fine. You can sleep in any of the unoccupied hammocks. Follow. I felt a little relieved as I followed the elf past the first row of hammocks. We moved past the third, all the way to the back of the chamber. It's instinct on a ship to want to be near the exit. Farther back you are, the longer it takes to get out. Looking at you, I think it is in everyone's best interest that you stay secluded. Fine with me. And why is that? Why is that? And why is that? You're not Galleon. Alright. You're not Galleon, and you're on a Galleon warship. You really need further explanation? Not keen on taking any more abuse after the day I had, I kept quiet. Besides, the realization I was on a warship through my mind. If I had been thinking about it, of course, that's what this was. All the elves were soldiers. The elf motioned at one of the empty hammocks and took her leave of me. Once she was gone, I climbed into the hammock and tried to burrow into it as deep as I could. It was surreal, like I was in the belly of a giant beast. I was left alone for the rest of the night. Those around me seemed to sleep soundly, as though theirs was a hard-earned slumber. I didn't seem to concern them. Come morning, I had gotten little sleep. Alright, y'all, so I am going to end it here. And I just want to say I hope you enjoyed this part. It was very, very nice. I'm getting really into this. I really love it. And I'm going to see if there's any more like stuff. So we got all of our stuff going on. We got amity a little bit high. Charity seems a little high. Might. Daring is a little high now. So lore, we got a couple more stuff that we can read in the next part. Larry. Alright. Alright, so now we got like people now. We got Lacey, we got Calipo, Poa, we got Vanya, or Vandian, Vaden. So we got Vanden. So I guess the heart around means that they're love interest. Yeah. Okay, so this is getting really interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and save up the game before I lose my spot. Yes. I'm gonna save it twice, you know, always have like an extra save, like a couple of saves. Alright, I will see you later, and I love you guys.